Perfect. So let me just start my video.
Okay.
Mhm. Uh, okay. Uh,
Wonderful.
uh, Perfect. Okay, I'm here. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And hello, everyone. Uh, I am Dr. Farooq Habib. I will be the moderator for today's session. And it is indeed a pleasure to have our distinguished speakers and their respected audience and participants. Uh, we are now officially starting our session, and I welcome everyone again in this wonderful session. Few things is like if just to give you the scheme and the theme agenda of today's program is that uh, first Mr. Sayyid Atif Zaman will present his presentation, and there will be a Q&A session regarding his presentation. It will be the session will be around like 30 minutes. After that, we have Mira with us, and then she will have a small presentation. And after that, which will be followed by the Q&A session. So we are hoping that we will have some exciting questions and also a fruitful discussion today. So before that, let me just give you a brief intro of what is Alif Technology is doing. We are actually, Alif Technology is based in Dubai, UAE, and then we have global partners and collaborations as well with different companies. We believe that there is a huge potential and great benefits in cutting edge technologies like blockchain, artificial intelligence, big data, predictive analytics, quantum computing, in solving real world problems. And for both SMEs and large organizations, and even for individuals. So, bonding ourselves with our common belief, we are a group of enthusiastic people with well diverse skills, expertise, qualification, and experience. Uh, so we are actually focused on Islamic finance and fintech. And as part of our educational programs and public awareness, we are running webinars which are free for the public. And we are very much glad that we receive overwhelming response and also the participation from the public in a very encouraging manner. So in today's webinar, let me just share with you that we have participants around 500 and then from coming from 35 different countries. So this is, I think, a very good and encouraging sign for us also. And we think that we can make our webinars more impactful and beneficial for the public in the future as well. So with that, let me just give you a small brief of what is today's webinar about. Uh, so as you might have sensed that we are going to talk about accounting. Accounting was about initially started with single entry system and then switched to double entry system. Now we are talking about triple entry accounting system. So many people have asked that what is it? So in a nutshell, it is a step ahead of the traditional double entry accounting system. And this system has been revolutionized by blockchain technology, and it will relieve the bookkeepers, accountants, auditors, and companies from tedious troubleshooting and help remove the mistrust, frauds, and manipulations faced by them. And this webinar will explain the concept that what is triple entry accounting, and and then we will be engaging our experts and speakers, distinguished speakers, in this interesting discussion, inshallah. So with that, I would like to call upon our first speaker, Mr. Sayyid Asif Zaman. Let me just tell you about him briefly. that Mr. Asif Zaman is actually a co-founder and the CEO of Alif Technologies, and he's by profession a chartered accountant, and also let me just read through a little bit about him as well, because he has so many positions actually, and a very active person. So he's also a managing partner in Ahmad Al Aghbari Chartered Accountant UAE, and he's also the CEO of a leading edge alliance tax consultant. And then he has different countries in Canada, and in Saudi Arabia, and UK, Pakistan as well. And he's associate member of Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan, and he's also Information System Audit and Controls Association, USA, the Association of International Accountants, UK, and fellow member of Pakistan Institute of Public Finance Accountants. He holds MBA in Finance and Accounts from Preston University, USA, and BSc in Math, Physics, and Statistics from Karachi University. He has also done certification in blockchain strategy and fintech from Oxford University, and he is also a lead auditor of ISO 27001 from the International Register of Certified Auditors UK. He also holds a diploma in computer programming from Petroman University, Pakistan. So with that, I think there are actually the list is very long, but to just cut short that he's also the finance secretary of ICAP UAE chapter, BOD and VP finance of Pakistan Business Council Dubai, and also member of Pakistan Association Dubai member, and also Business Council of Canada. So with that, I would invite Mr. Asif Zaman to start his presentation, and then we will move to Q&A as well. So Mr. Asif, to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Farooq, and welcome everyone aboard. And I think this topic has been running in my mind for a long period of time. The reason is then being a chartered accountant and running my own auditing and consulting firm, and then I myself was very much curious in the start that what is this triple entry accounting system, and then I have been done, certification from Oxford University in blockchain and in fintech. And then I have to explore, first of all, when it comes to in my mind also, and thought that what is this triple entry accounting system? Then how does it work? Then how these things are there? Some common questions arriving in our mind as an accountant, as a chartered accountant. And it was always, it is a very much hype has been created that how the accounting will transform in near future with the introduction of blockchain and this related technologies, artificial intelligence and robotics and other things are coming in place, and what are the roles of being an accountant will change, and how this accounting all procedures and all these things will change. So what in this my presentation I will try to be very precise and try to explain that what is this triple accounting system basically is there. And with us are this Miss Mira is there. She's a professor and she knows theoretically and other things more than me. And anyhow, so I will start my presentation now. Where is that? Once let me open this one. Okay. Is the presentation visible, Dr. Farooq?
Yes. Yes, it's visible. Can you just make it
okay.
full screen?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Sure. Now it's okay. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Now I will start that this triple entry accounting system of blockchain resolution. This just to explain that what I'm going to be talking about is explanation of single entry and double entry accounting system. What is triple entry accounting system? Current issues and challenges in double entry accounting system. How triple entry accounting works with blockchain. Advantages of triple accounting system and disadvantages of triple accounting system. Now, coming to the first, my point is that the explanation of single entry and double entry accounting system. First, there was a single entry accounting, bookkeeping, just writing down what happened, and then came double entry. What happened has to be explained by the reason of another account, as per this accounting group. Bookkeeping is not just keeping the books or recording profit and loss. It's about the business own narratives that narrates the maintain the integrity of the business itself and its connection to the world, according to Dan Planza. Now, what is single entry accounting system? Bookkeeping or accounting has its roots in ancient civilization, some as old as 5,000 years ago. Single entry accounting was a simple, just easy to maintain the system that it has one-sided, accounting system. The problem with single accounting system that is prone to error. People can easily forget transaction to make or transaction or make a mistake. It's impossible to authenticate or examine its accounting. We, in the participant, most of them will be an accountant. They know this simple accounting, and this single accounting system. Procedure of accounting need more transparency and accountability and answer these questions when we were doing the single accounting system is who paid what, who owes how much, what debts are unpaid, why is money missing, where did we lose money, and which deal was the best profit. These questions cannot be answered by the single entry accounting systems. The drawback of single entry accounting system become the trigger point to look for more comprehensive structure. Almost 600 years ago, double entry accounting system came into being. Accountant start maintaining two ledger to make accounting system more comprehensive, one for the incoming and other for the outgoing. This what are the current challenges in a double entry accounting system? Double entry accounting system is prone to error. Single transaction might be managed by two different entities into different organizations. It means that that when we are making the entries, somebody have to pay and somebody again have to receive. And what is written in their other books, it cannot be known unless they share the information. Records can also be fairly easily falsified under double entry accounting system. Discrepancies can be found eventually through painstaking auditing, but the process is difficult, time consuming, and far from foolproof. That this auditing procedures is lengthy procedure, special for the multinational organization. Is taking even the closing of year end. It's taking 3-4 months just to do an auditing of these kind of organizations. If even you are very much in a pace, it minimum takes to 3 to 6 weeks around, and then you have to do the reconciliation. Then you have to send the confirmation, third party confirmation, bank reconciliation. These are all the procedures which we have to go through to verify the accounts in double entry are transparent and recorded, completely recorded. What is triple entry accounting system? Triple entry accounting system is a scholarly concept conceived by late U.J. Ejri, a professor at Congreve Mellon University. He was the first person to talk about this triple entry accounting system. The debut of triple entry accounting system. Imperfection and flaws of double entry accounting system leads to the need of an economic wide accounting system. The triple entry accounting system is a step ahead of the traditional double entry accounting system. One that will revive the books of a bookkeeper and companies from tedious troubleshooting, help improve mistrust, fraud, or manipulation faced by them. Now, Imperfection and flaws of double entry accounting system led to the need of this accounting system. And to resolve this problem, noted accountant, author, and former professor Yuji Ijiri proposed a more complex process in 1980, triple entry system. What he said, all transactions should be simultaneously posted in three places, with two parties to the transaction with an independent accounting entity, a trail which therefore exists for each and every monetary transaction an organization made. Auditing, which would be much simpler, could potentially even be automated because all record be electronically and searchable. What he's saying is that one, there is company A, there is company B. When there are these two companies, they are recording, there should be a third and place where this entity are being combined, we've been recording. I will tell you by example later on what Professor Yuji was saying. Triple entry accounting system present a framework of new and complex way of doing accounting. The concept has came into focus in recent years with Ian Grigg, who associated with the blockchain technology and popularized as to believe the accounting should no longer be complete by it. Now, see, I will tell you in simple way that what Professor Yuji was saying and how this Ian Grigg has come up with it. If we have a network of four entity A, B, C, D, A has $100, 100 dirham, for example. A transfer to B 50 dirham. What will happen? A will record in his book the payment of 50 dirham to B. B will record that he have received 50 dirham from A. Now, if B, the second entity, transfers to C 25 dirham, B will record in his books that he have transfer made a payment to D 25 dirham. D will record the same 25 as a receipt. Now, if D transfer to C, the fourth entity in the network, 10 dirham. So what will happen? D will make in record in his book that he have made the payment, and C will record that they have received this 10 dirham. All entities, these recordings are individual books of account. So each and every one at the end of the day, you have to verify. Now, what Professor Yuji is saying and how this open ledger of blockchain is saying that one. If all these entries, which in the previous slide have shown, is written at a same place, that Mr. A has 100 dirham, the first entry. Mr. A transfer 50 to B, the second entry. Mr. B transfer to to D 25 dirham, and C transfer to D transfer to C 10 dirham. This all transactions are at one place. I go back to I think I can go back to last slide. In these slides, there are double entries going this. One is receiving, one is paying, one is receiving, paying. So in the second slide, you see that these entries become half. If they are recorded at a one place, according to Yuji, Professor Yuji and Ian Grigg, that these entries, nobody individually is writing. Now, coming to the concept, I will go further back to blockchain again, but here I will tell you that in blockchain, this triple entry, how it's connected. The third component in which all these entries in past, each entry will make a block of specific entry in the system. First block, second block, third block, fourth block. And these all block will be at one place. And then A, B, D, and C all can view this records and have that record with them. Now, if this records is with them, if for example, tomorrow in the last stage, A transfer to C 75 dirham, they cannot transfer, because everybody in this network knows now the amount left with A is only 50 dirham. So all these transactions become apparent and very much clear and apparent to the public. When you make these entries complex, this is the way how blockchain is working in Bitcoins. That each and every person or company which is called a node have complete details of all the transactions. These transactions had been recorded with coding, so you cannot know the name. These complex matters are there. I'm not going on that one because I'm concentrating on the accounting, how the accounting of this triple entry can be done. So what we are saying is that this triple entry accounting system, the triple entry accounting system, all the entries are in one place recorded. And if we go further, it's recorded on a block in a series of sequence of events in like a chain. How triple entry with the blockchain? Now, I have shown you that the term triple entry accounting is somewhat misleading, as there isn't any third entity. Instead, a third component is added to the debit credit system. The common thread or the binding component is blockchain that links the books together and helps in linking two different separate double entries and can potentially be viewed for external auditing purpose. Instead of individual firm having their own books for transaction, they go through a contract, which is eventually includes every aspect of transaction, what the products was, who is the seller, who is the buyer, and above all, digitally signed. What we are talking, these procedures for entering, which I have shown you in the previous slide, is can be done automatically by a program which is called smart contract in blockchain. In the triple entry accounting system, all accounting entries are cryptographically sealed by the third party. It works as a deterrent towards manipulation and financial fraud. In traditional double entry accounting, a company ledger can be compromised by any of weak human link, can be an employee, a bookkeeper, or an auditor. But with unique system of triple entry accounting leaves no space for any corrupt, weak human link, and it is immutable. As blockchain are completely automated and decentralized, once the entry is recorded, it cannot be edited, altered, or removed. The highest level of encryption technology ensured that the accuracy of each transaction digitally signed, leaving no gap for error, and at the same time, verifiable by all. The transaction recorded in the blockchain using triple entry accounting simplify the entire double entry accounting process. Once the transaction is recorded on the blockchain by one of the two accountants, the other parties can also view the particular double entry system, which I have shown you previously, that each nodes have their all records available with them. Easily review it and have it recorded automatically in its own book. What is blockchain and how does it works? This is very important to know that now we are talking about triple entry, and we know now that triple entry is nothing, is an additional component to the double entry which has been provided by the blockchain. Triple entry accounting is made possible by a technology called blockchain. As I've already mentioned, the blockchain refers to the digital ledger which is distributed among multiple locations in order to ensure security and ease of access globally. And that's why it's called, DLD, also distributed ledger technology. In blockchain, records are not held by a central agency. They are spread across multiple computer hosts, sometimes thousands of them, and like in case of this cryptocurrencies. And as a result, the records are impossible to alter. Once an item entered the blockchain, it becomes a permanent and fixed record of a transaction. A blockchain can be created once a contract is signed, then purchase order can be issued against the contract, bills against the purchase order, payment against this bills, tracking all issues that arises along. So it can have a digital program on that, a smart contract, which follows and which keeps all the record and auto execute these things. Once you have purchase order received, you will get time stamped. I will show you a little video for that one. There could be a unique ID related to the contract, purchase, order, bill in the chain to tie all these separate pieces together. The ledger that easily shows the entire, string of related transactions will provide excellent audit records above both parties to a transaction to have a real time status updates.
Are incredibly popular nowadays. do they work, what problems do they solve, and how can they be used?
Everybody can hear the video sound? Dr. Farooq?
Yes, we can hear it.
Like the name indicates, a blockchain is a chain of blocks that contains information. This technique was originally described in 1991 by a group of researchers and was originally intended to timestamp digital documents so that it's not possible to backdate them or to tamper with them, almost like a notary. However, it went by mostly unused until it was adapted by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009 to create the digital cryptocurrency Bitcoin. Now, a blockchain is a distributed ledger that is completely open to anyone. They have an interesting property. Once some data has been recorded inside the blockchain, it becomes very difficult to change it. So how does that work? Well, let's take a closer look at a block. Each block contains some data, the hash of the block, and the hash of the previous block. The data that is stored inside a block depends on the type of blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain, for example, stores the details about a transaction in here, such as the sender, receiver, and the amount of coins. A block also has a hash. You can compare a hash to a fingerprint. It identifies the block and all of its contents, and it's always unique, just as a fingerprint. Once a block is created, its hash is being calculated. Changing something inside the block will cause the hash to change. So in other words, hashes are very useful when you want to detect changes to blocks. If the fingerprint of a block changes, it no longer is the same block. The third element inside each block is the hash of the previous block. And this effectively creates a chain of blocks, and it's this technique that makes the blockchain so secure. Let's take an example. Here we have a chain of 3 blocks. As you can see, each block has a hash and the hash of the previous block. So block number 3 points to block number 2, and number 2 points to number 1. Now the first block is a bit special. It cannot point to previous blocks because, well, it's the first one. We call this block the genesis block. Now let's say that you tamper with the second block. This causes the hash of the block to change as well. In turn, that will make block 3 and all following blocks invalid because they no longer store a valid hash of the previous block. So changing a single block will make all following blocks invalid. But using hashes is not enough to prevent tampering. Computers these days are very fast and can calculate hundreds of thousands of hashes per second. You could effectively tamper with a block and recalculate all the hashes of other blocks to make your blockchain valid again. So to mitigate this, blockchains have something that is called proof of work. It's a mechanism that slows down the creation of new blocks. In Bitcoin's case, it takes about 10 minutes to calculate the required proof of work and add a new block to the chain. This mechanism makes it very hard to tamper with the blocks because if you tamper with one block, you'll need to recalculate the proof of work for all the following blocks. So the security of a blockchain comes from its creative use of hashing and the proof of work mechanism. But there is one more way that blockchains secure themselves, and that is by being distributed. Instead of using a central entity to manage the chain, blockchains use a peer-to-peer network and everyone is allowed to join. When someone joins this network, he gets a full copy of the blockchain. The node can use this to verify that everything is still in order. Now, let's see what happens when someone creates a new block. That block is sent to everyone on the network. Each node then verifies the block to make sure that it hasn't been tampered with. And if everything checks out, each node adds this block to their own blockchain. All the nodes in this network create consensus. They agree about what blocks are valid and which aren't. Blocks that are tampered with will be rejected by other nodes in the network. So to successfully tamper with a blockchain, you'll need to tamper with all the blocks on the chain, redo the proof of work for each block, and take control of more than 50% of the peer-to-peer network. Only then will your tampered block become accepted by everyone else. So this is almost impossible to do. Blockchains are also constantly evolving. One of the most recent developments is the creation of smart contracts. These contracts are simple programs that are stored on the blockchain and can be used to automatically exchange coins based on certain conditions. More on smart contracts in a later video. The creation of blockchain technology piqued a lot of people's interest. Soon others realized that this technology could be used for other things, like storing medical records, creating a digital notary, or even collecting taxes.
Okay, Mr. Asif, I think that the video is finished, right? You are switching to your audio.
Sorry, 1 minute.
Okay, perfect. No problem.
I will share again 1 minute the screen. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, this you have seen the video. I think that you must be understanding what basically blockchain is. The blockchain refer a digital ledger that is distributed among the multiple location in order to ensure security and ease of access globally. At present, this technology is primarily used for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and it is just penetrating the accounting process. But domain expert point that only the matter of time it will be entirely disrupting the accounting process. And then I will skip the last another video will later will show. This triple entry accounting is just a potentially revolutionize the feature of bookkeeping, as blockchain accounting will literally have half the double of entry transaction, which I have already shown that it will be only single entries in a form of a block will be written, which I have shown that one. And this will assist the bookkeeper greatly by saving their time and providing them the opportunity to focus more on value-added roles within the profession. This, what are the advantage of triple entry? It takes the dependency out of the auditors, ensure consistency. It introduce a public ledger where all participant entry mandatory, host all accounting entry. It's thereby establish a self-regulated and shared environment amongst all the stakeholders. It thus, sorry, ensure the larger purpose of bookkeeping and auditing doesn't suffer because of errors or omission, immaterials of whether caused intentionally or unintentionally. As you know that blockchain has been tamper proof, it brings sound trust into the books. Triple entry accounting system allows reconciling the balances in the transaction and reporting process. By keeping a non-biased record, triple entry accounting reduces the chance of error, fraud, or manipulation. With the system of accounting, there is a perfect audit trail, as it's create an immutable history of all the exchange within the system. Triple entry accounts undoubtedly have considerable benefit as large that shows up the entire string of transactions, whether bills generated or paid. It provides proofs to be excellent, audit record, and then a real-time status update in other major benefits at the same time, accessible from anywhere at any time in much needed convenience. And now, what are some disadvantages? The downside is that the added complexity of the process. Even if regulator or company would get over the mental handle of moving away from double entry, it is impractical to use more complex system. Moving to triple entry system will be challenging, that it would involve a sea change of the triple entry accounting system is mostly interesting mental exercise, but challenging technologies are helping the idea to move into the realm of possibilities. 500 years, a long time for one method to regain supremacy, and many in the field think that might be a new paradigm. Now these are the things, and second thing is that that there is no standardization in blockchain. There are so many platforms being used, there is no universal things are there. I will share you something which we are doing, and we are working on a project on VAT accounting on blockchain, which is example of triple entry. I will stop this slide and just share another slide. Okay, this that this taxes, especially VAT follows a chain of transaction, like I have shown you in the blockchain, and their ability and this obligation are often triggered by of key events that needs to be documented and recorded securely. These even include the performance of a service or the delivery of goods, the conclusion of contract, the manufacture of product, or any act importing or exporting goods and services. How, where, when, what VAT applies often depends on complex decision that must be applied correctly for every transaction. Collecting the right amount of tax depend on the honesty of recording accurate information, often real time. That that there are so many tax frauds in the world going on everywhere in each countries. Tax error, negligent accounting, lack of data, fraudulent activities can all have a significant impact. Currently, VAT is a key driving factor of tax administrative and great contribution to the government budgets. For these reasons, tax authorities search for ways to more effective VAT collection in order to gain some revenue and shorten budget deficits. We are starting to see that the tax administration around the world considering block tech technology, that is triple entry accounting system. Surely one matter of time before this application become a reality. Let us see the example of triple entry accounting system on VAT accounting. Currently, accounting process. What is the current of the a VAT invoice is issued by a company. Then the client pays the bill according to the VAT. Information about the payment is recorded into the company system. Then the company pays their bill, their supplier bill by a bank transfer. The company calculates VAT due to the authorities and file a return quarterly, monthly, or yearly. Now, if that has shown is the idea, the manual system and what the current double entry system is going for accounting procedures. Now, how the VAT will work on a blockchain? The client pays the invoice to the company. Then there is a smart contract. What it will do, the company pays to the supplier bill. But at the same time, blockchain smart contract, which basically is the third entry or component of triple entry system, will calculate the invoice, VAT invoice, and divide it into VAT and non-VATable parts. The VAT part is directly paid to the authority on real-time basis by the smart contract. The non-VAT is transferred to the company's accounting using the smart contract. The company fills the needed amount, and smart contract performs the payment, and simultaneously the amount due is sent to the supplier. The smart contracts calculate VAT and send it to the tax authorities. The smart contract application of blockchain that promise of transform business are smart contract computer programs that facilitate, verify, or enforce the negotiation or execution of an agreement, referred as the third component of triple entry system. They often replicate the logic of regular contract clause. Through smart contract, many types of contractual clauses can be made partially or fully self-executing, self-enforcing, or both. VAT and custom administration could create blockchain for the transactions of VAT data and payment between the taxpayer government portal. This blockchain could involve taxpayer in single jurisdiction or could across the multiple jurisdictions such as within the whole GCC or EU and whatever you can say that one. So now this ends my presentation. Basically, I try to give an example that how the triple entry can be used in VAT accounting, and hopefully that the participant have understand my presentation. Dr. Back to you, Dr. Farooq.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Asif, for the presentation. And I think that we have two questions. We will ask these questions directly to you without any delay. So first question is like, how can we edit the entry on a blockchain system if it is posted wrongly?
Okay, if it is posted wrongly, that there is a verification one. The posted can wrong in blockchain, it cannot be posted wrongly in the sense because the other party is already apparently viewing that transaction. Like that, say that I owe Miss Mira, 1,000 ringgit. Okay, 1,000 ringgit. When I wrote that one, I want to record that I owe to Miss Mira only 900. It is apparent to Miss Mira. Unless Miss Mira and me both agree that one, it cannot be posted. Then there is a system, contract. It can make a small smart contract in which the both parties agrees. Then the entry can be posted. Like same goes in complex scenarios which is going on in cryptocurrencies and other things like that. The transfer has been made, the payment has been made. Unless there is a consensus between them and there are minor concept there, unless they all agree on that one, the entry cannot be used. I hopefully it has answered the question.
Okay, another question is is there any practical application available which is based on triple entry accounting system? I mean, do you have any use case or any live example?
Yes, the accounting system of all the cryptocurrencies is a live case of triple entry accounting system in which all the system, the blockchain is the third component in which huge amount of transactions are being made each and every second, not day, each and every second. All these exchanges, digital exchanges are using this triple entry accounting system in which the third component blockchain and you are using the smart contract. And apart from that one, then there are so many other transactions going on, like programs have been made on accounting system for the banking, like VTrade. VTrade is for the import, export, and LCs and everything like that, documentations and entries, or are be posted on that.
Okay, perfect. There is another question, which is so according to you, triple entry accounting is actually just a centralization of data, which is introduced by smart contracts and blockchain. So is it centralized or decentralized?
It is not centralized nor decentralized. It's a distributed system. It's a distributed system. It means each and everybody have the similar rights. Only that there are two kind of blockchains. There are public blockchain and there are private blockchain, and there is third is hybrid blockchain, is semi-private, in which authority there. In a public blockchain, the best example is a Bitcoin, in which each and every node has have the record, and 50% agreeing as a miner. There are miner who are verifying the records, and 50% of consensus, it could be 50, 60, whatever you may the rule laid on the rule. At that time when they agree, then it is posted over there. So this things goes on like that. And in a private blockchain system, somebody could be one authorized person, like in like VAT. I'm giving you an example. In the VAT, which accounting system, it's a triple entry accounting system. It could be the government who's allowing to record and approve the transaction, in which if the government is government authorities, or in case of UAE is federal tax authorities, could be the one which allow that this entry can be posted. The reason is that one, whether they are the purpose of creating a VAT accounting or triple accounting is that the government get the revenues on exact amount and on a timely basis.
Okay, perfect. Our next question is, do you think that is triple entry accounting being used in every company, or will it be used in every company in the future if it is not presently?
It's a questionable thing that is in the compliance, and the government and the authorities have to ensure that one triple entry accounting system can be used internally with a group of companies in which they don't have any kind of data secrecy or something like that, that the transaction and amount there, then it can be enforced by the authorities like tax authorities to make sure that this kind of and triple entries can, because triple entry accounting system in which it's a complexity is that sorry, how much information can be shared to the public and how much information has to be held back. So it's debatable and questionable things, and still now in complex accounting, that's why you see that this triple entry accounting system first was given in 1980, and then in 2009 I think around that Bitcoin have started using that one, and still it is it is not fully been implemented.
Okay, we have a second question, another question that if accounting system has to shift on blockchain, how will the small vendors and customers become part of it, considering that this is a sophisticated technology?
Basically, it's not a sophisticated technology. When it become on a wider scale, you remember when IBM first launched the computer, what was the price of the computer? And when the first mobile came, what was the price of the mobile? Now you see that mobile you have from China, I think in 100 dirham also you can buy 200 dirham, you can buy a mobile. So it's not matter of a time that it become, and most important thing is not the prices and complexity, is the ecosystem. Once the ecosystem is developed in which everybody has to be in, like I give you an example of Dubai is the best example. Dubai is going to be a smart city in which the government is going for a smart Dubai by 2021, and it could be delayed by maximum by 2023, in which all the government departments today like Diva and land department, all land department is already in DLD. What happened now? When land department is already, you're purchasing an apartment. When you purchase the apartment, it's there in blockchain. They issue a block number in which all the transactions are there. Immediately, this information is being shared by DIVA, the electricity department. And when you apply that one in half an hour, I think, or more, less than that one, you get the connection. So ecosystem basically has to be developed. Unless the ecosystem is there, this blockchain and other technology cannot go down to small vendors or medium size.
Okay, perfect. I think that due to shortage of time, I have a list of questions. Actually, there are. I would like to request Mr. Asif to type the answer if it is feasible. And what will happen is like after Dr. Mira's
I see there is 15 questions.
session. So like there are questions. So you can feel free, please, to type your answer. And if we have time later after Dr. Mira's presentation, then we will take on these questions again if time allows.
And
so
I think that Dr. Miras will answer so many questions by
yeah, definitely. So that's why I am trying to basically move on to our presentation, so that like if there are questions which would be answered unintentionally or intentionally in the next presentation, then that would be very great. And I would like to also see that like I have seen some, I would like to ask that, okay, there are few hands raised. If you have any question or comment, Q&A section is there. Please type your question over there. And if your question has been answered, then please, you can lower your hand. Perfect. Thank you. So we will, I would like now to actually introduce Dr. Mira. Let me just share with you her a brief profile. That Miss Mira Ishwaran is an associate ACCA with a BSc in Accounting and Finance from Multimedia University Cyberjaya, Malaysia. She has over 8 years of corporate experience in accounting, auditing, and taxation, and has worked in one of the big four companies, a medium-sized investment advisory firm in Singapore, ACCA Malaysia, the Confederation of Asian and Pacific Accountants, and the Malaysian Institute of Accountants, MIA, on the development of professional accounting standards, policy recommendations, and accounting practices. This experience has provided her with valuable insights to recommend and inculcate best practices to companies in the area of accounting and finance. She currently lectures in accounting, auditing, and finance modules in Asia Pacific University, Malaysia, APU. Her areas of expertise are in financial accounting, auditing, forensic accounting, ethics and corporate governance, strategic and sustainable accounting, business and risk analysis, and recently financial technology services, which includes blockchain technology and its application in the accounting and finance fraternity. So Mira has completed her MSc in accounting and financial management in 2015 with the University of West England, UK, and is currently pursuing a PhD in accounting in the area of financial reporting and blockchain. So I think that Mira not only has a very strong theoretical and conceptual background about this topic, but she has a lot of insight, I believe, to share with you from the industry perspective as well. So over to you, Mira.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Farouk, and thank you, Mr. Said. Thank you for your wonderful presentation earlier. I have personally learned a lot, and it's always great to have industry perspective. And having a background in academia as well as industry has really helped me to importance between both of them. So I'm just sharing my screen right now, Dr. Farouk.
Yes, please go ahead. Perfect.
Okay,
we can see
so
it.
yeah, thank you, Dr. Farouk. So I'm going to basically use this opportunity, okay, to share my experience in what I have learned, what I have gathered, and what I am actually pursuing right now in my study in terms of blockchain. And when Dr. Farouk approached me on this topic, it was really exciting. I was very happy to see that worldwide, globally, there is a lot of interest coming about in the area of blockchain, okay, and how it is applied, okay, with what we currently have, okay, in accounting and finance, and how we can actually use it to enhance our experience and make it even more better, efficient, and productive. And it's really interesting to see what Alif Technologies has embarked on, and I would really love to hear a lot more, okay, on how we could go about with this. And yes, just a little bit of content, to explain what we're going to be covering, okay, in the next few sessions, and I'll be happy to discuss and take on questions, okay, from the panel as well as the participants for today. So we're going to look a little bit into the latest developments. So I will be probably, saying a little bit more about what Mr. Said has mentioned earlier. Okay, and I would try to make it more, as an extension of what he has already shared. Okay, then we'll be looking at the implementation of triple entry accounting systems. And what is really important, and I think some of you have also raised that as part of your questions on the issues and challenges. Yes, undeniably, okay, there are definitely going to be issues and challenges that are faced, but just like any other technology or just like any other implementation, okay, that has happened in the past, we just have to face it and move on, okay, with the challenges that are posed by this technology, okay. And how can accountants prepare themselves for the future? Yes. Okay, so these are all the areas that we'll be going to. So an extension of what a little example that I always share when we talk about triple entry accounting. I think we have understood that triple entry accounting is an additional component. It's not a third entry, like we have a debit and credit, and now you have another entry. It is actually enhancing the existing double entry system that we have with the assistance or with the help of blockchain technology. Okay, so before we move a little bit into more into triple entry, blockchain technology has actually facilitated this triple entry. And Mr. Said has mentioned earlier about the peer-to-peer network, the smart contracts that are examples, which are currently being used, in the context of blockchain application in companies. So if you could see a specific area that I have mentioned here, guys, you have ledger 1 and ledger 2, okay, and you have your normal debits and credits, okay, and you can see the sum of money which has been put into the debit account and the credit account, and how it will look in at both sides of the transaction, okay, at the receiving end and at the paying end. And once you have seen those two, you will be able to look below, okay, if it's clear enough. But don't worry, guys, this set of slides will be shared with you for your use after this session. And you can see there is a public ledger which exposes ledger 1 and ledger 2 together. Okay, and you are able to see a flow of transactions, okay, in both sides, okay, in a very connected manner. So this is what blockchain actually does. It it clarifies and it connects, and on top of that, it brings about transparency, it brings about verifiability, it brings about real-time information, okay, because what actually is being defined as block time, okay, from a transaction to move from one block to another can actually go down to even 8 seconds, okay, when we talk about real time. And Dr. Said mentioned earlier, okay, that there are, information can transfer so quickly, okay, that our efficiency in terms of how we want to project or how we want to portray our information to stakeholders, is really, really advanced and enhanced, okay, with the use of blockchain technology. This also is an example, guys. This is just to show you how exactly that we have so many users and different stakeholders, such as auditors obtaining information from their clients, okay, to proceed with the auditing process. Okay, financial institutions that can actually transfer sums of money, okay, moving from one party to another. And as long as you are on that block, okay, just like that presentation that you saw earlier, as long as you fall within that block, you will be able to verify that the information that is being transferred or transferred to you is completely reliable. So this is really something revolutionary for accounting and accountants like you guys. And it really gives you a sense of contentment that, that information that has been passed through is something that you can rely upon. Okay, there was a discussion earlier about how blockchain is used as as a potential method of fraud prevention. Yes, there is a significant there's significant amount of studies that show that blockchain will definitely be able to be a deterrent together with the assistance of artificial intelligence and also big data analytics. This is something very, very foreseeable in the future. So we spoke a little bit about the background of accounting. So if you start off earlier with Mr. Said's discussion, he started off with talking about single entry and double entry accounting. And prior to that, guys, we even had, if you really go down to the history of barter system and exchange of goods and everything, and how we have evolved and reached the point that we are in, and blockchain being a huge disruptor, okay, starting off as merely an area brought about by Satoshi Nakamoto back in 2008 in his white paper, as he discussed about blockchain being the platform that supports a Bitcoin. Okay, and there was a point of realization that blockchain should not be kept, okay, within, okay, Bitcoin, and it should be extended, and its use, okay, is as revolutionary as the internet. Okay, it's just like how the internet has impacted us today. Okay, there were times in 1970s, there were videos saying that, wow, the internet is actually allowing us to send a letter to someone, which is what we use as email today. This is exactly how I view, and I think there are also many of us here who view blockchain as it is something which is really going to transform many areas. Okay, many different kinds of areas. For instance, voting processes, how a construction industry recognize a procurement payment, healthcare. Okay, many different specific industries will benefit from blockchain technology. So going down to my pointers here on the weaknesses of double entry accounting. Okay, it is usually there are chances that you might face errors, okay, with the double entry system, and auditors have highlighted this as part of their key audit sometimes about transactions which do not out. A lot of time is used by these auditors in checking these transactions, okay, rather than performing something more value added, which is expected by the shareholders. Okay, so the reason for this inconsistencies is because a single transaction is usually managed by two different organizations. So this is a concern. So a triple entry presents a framework, okay, basically a framework on how we can move beyond the assets equals to liability plus equity framework. Okay, we're looking at a more complex framework, which brings in a third cost of recording transactions. So the term triple entry bookkeeping was originated from the paper written by Professor Yuji Ijiri, okay, and it was then enhanced, okay, with a further paper which was published by iGreek in 2005 on triple entry accounting. And it looks at the specific techniques which are linked with financial encrypting or cryptography. And it also looks at a very strong, resilient system, which entails providing reliable information to stakeholders and also supporting a very strong accounting background and system for the organization. So we have, like what Mr. Said mentioned earlier, you have a public and a private ledger. So introducing a public ledger will be a method of you bringing in this technology into your organization. Okay, there were some questions earlier on those, and this is your first step. Okay, by introducing this, you are able to get on board this process. Okay, so this public ledger is cryptographically sealed, okay, which means that if the information is encrypted, and you need to look at a matching, as the example that was shared earlier, between the previous block and the existing block and your current block that you have inserted a transaction on with the following block. So basically, information passes on, okay, it gets on, okay, reliably to the next parties which are viewing it and also able to make an entry. That depends on whether you have access, whether you are a viewer or whether you are able or you're given the authorization to insert a transaction into a particular block. Okay, so and every journal entry, as mentioned here, that has a double entry refers to a node or what we call an entity in the chain. Okay, and it is linked to ensure that every subsequent entry in the life cycle of this is reliably transacted. and it follows the previous entries with what we call a hash function. Okay, the hash function is what we use to say that the information is encrypted, it is complete, and we have actually tied it in. Okay, and this hash is consistently used across the entire block. So distributing the information, and how do we look at decentralizing and providing access? Okay, what can be viewed, what can be changed, what can be amended? So you have what we call a public, a private, and also a hybrid blockchain, which is specifically designed to contain both, okay, of the characteristics of a public and a private blockchain. So it distributes the risk also, okay, from the central hosting, okay, to a model where each entity within the system can have a copy of the ledger, and this information is completely secured, distributed, and this term immutable and verifiable information is something that you can consent to, and it is an achievement actually at the end of the day. So what I call a eureka moment, okay, for blockchain, which is like a wow moment, okay, because the characteristics of blockchain has completely fitted into what was actually lacking in the area of financial reporting. Okay, so the financial reporting in the future is really going to look fantastic, okay, with this platform being available to be used. And I'm going to quote in one or two of my slides later about what has been mentioned by the Financial Reporting Council. Now, then again, I'm sure many of you, okay, would have had questions, okay, about what are the challenges that we're going to be facing with a particular implementation of blockchain, or with the use of blockchain to facilitate triple entry accounting. What is going to be the framework? What are the policy implications? What are the challenges, okay, that you're going to be facing? How do you set a policy framework? We accountants are not people who have been IT savvy. We did very minimum modules probably as we was as students, and also if you had taken a short course or something. So we are not in the design of the blockchain, but we are the users. Okay, but the challenges that we are facing will be able to benefit, okay, the designers to enhance, okay, the system to ensure that it can be as reliable as possible. Okay, technology, yes, technology is highly disruptive. It changes, okay, it evolves, at some time, at certain points, guys, you can't even keep up, okay, with the changes that technology is posing. Every single day there are new things which are created, new areas, okay, and this is certainly an area that would raise concerns. And stakeholders, definitely, okay. Now stakeholders, there are various and several different types of stakeholders, and these stakeholders can actually be ranging from those who are shareholders of the company, the users of financial statements, financial institutions, the public, okay. And their concern would be cost, I'm sure, okay. And how are we going to benefit? What is going to be the return on investment with bringing about blockchain within the organization? Yes, because you need to be enhancing and ensuring that your workforce, okay, and your individuals, your employees within your company is able to use a blockchain, okay, and they have been trained. So every cost that gets into this implementation matters. But then again, like what Mrs. Said mentioned earlier, yes, handphones were expensive at one point. Yes, how much was an IBM computer? We used to pay so much for a laptop, back in the day in university, if you just want to purchase a laptop. And we saw these prices coming down eventually as users increase and as the need, okay, for these products increase. Economy. Just look at our economic state today, all right? And we are struggling with a pandemic, okay? And we have, something which we would have not expected, just about a year back, people were planning holidays. They were planning work expansions. They were planning studies that would take them abroad. And none of this was able to be done in this current situation. Yes. And thankfully, with a platform like a technology platform, using the internet, having an online platform, what we have today, right now, as we speak, thanks to these, advances, we are able to still maintain, run our lives, and have a fruitful outcome with our daily, day-to-day operations within your organizations. Even for me as an academician, as a lecturer, you're able to still reach out, okay, to your level best. And economic status, okay, with the implementation of blockchain is definitely going to enhance productivity levels. I'm sure there's a lot of Malaysia just went through our budget just last Friday, and we did see a lot of benefits and encouragement which has been given by the government, okay, to digitalize. Okay, there are funds for this which we could apply for, and I'm sure this is happening globally as well in many other countries. Okay, and of course investment. Okay, so what sort of investment are we prepared to put on this? Are we willing to take the risk and reap the benefits? Okay, this is also a question that we need to ask ourselves. So this is how the future of accounting is actually going to look like. We can actually see, the characteristics of a blockchain coming into, use. Okay, and there is a need, there is a demand for it. If you see here, this chart is adopted actually from the Financial Reporting Council back in 2018. And the potential solutions that blockchain technology will be able to provide, okay, the accounting fraternity would be all this that you can see in the production line, in distribution, as well as consumption. Factors like easy, compatible, timely, real-time information, okay, prompt, okay, accessibility. All right. Now, these are the demands that are needed in the future. So a technology like blockchain will definitely be able to resolve, probably not all, but at least some of these characteristics that are needed of future. Of course, your triple entry accounting that we were talking about will eventually lead into a financial statement. So it has like yards and miles of benefits, guys, and its potential is peak. Okay, so if you can see in this little chart that I have shared here, we're looking at real-time financial reporting. Okay, this is something which is much needed in the future. It's helpful for quick decision making, strategic decision making and planning. Okay, and any area that looks into coming up with a more enhanced, efficient audit process. Okay, and you can see here you have the documents that actually go onto a block, and the audit company accesses it, and eventually it moves and it goes down into the actual reporting line. Okay, and the information, okay, that is stored is controlled. Okay, and it it actually, I would say, benefits a whole lot of individuals, and it's not restrictive, okay, to just individual organizations or individual members that are benefiting. You would really be able to see the benefits of blockchain probably in the next 3 to 5 years, I would say. And of course, the steps that are that needs to be taken to bring it in, okay, needs to be looked at the nearest possible juncture. So, talking about what we need to do to prepare from a survey. Okay, so I would say, okay, I know there's a lot of talk out there about the accounting profession getting disrupted. Yes, the existing tasks that are involved, something like bookkeeping and all, which involve a lot of mundane tasks, a lot of areas which are replaceable by automation. Those tasks, yes. But have we thought about what are the new roles and what are the new opportunities that are going to be created by these disruptive technologies? Yes, our profession is changing. We are evolving into a new regime. We are hybrid accountants. They always say, you need a great accountant to continue having a good business. Okay, there's always a great accountant behind a good business. So I would say that there is a really bright future, okay, with a projected increase of 10%, okay, in accounting and auditing employment between 2016 and 2026, okay, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. Yes, we are moving into roles like automation, mini bots, okay. We have like robo CFO, new titles, okay, machine learning, adaptive intelligence in accounting and finance. Yes, this is the evolution of our profession, and we are right in the center of it. Working with a cloud, okay, saving information that is easily accessible, okay, transferable. Okay, you information is at the comfort of your palms. With your handphone you can actually make approvals, make decisions, take quick measures to prevent an unwanted incident or a transaction which you probably would think would negatively impact the organization at the earliest juncture possible. Okay, so the power of blockchain, you can go on, there can be multiple sessions on understanding the power of blockchain. You can actually look at each one of them, like a smart contract session, one with bringing in robo advisory, integrating it with softwares like many different types of softwares out there, SAP, etc. There's a huge potential for blockchain to perform in the future, and definitely in this area, okay, with triple entry accounting. So with that, my humble appreciation and thank you to all of you participants, and also Dr. Farouk and Mr. Said and their team. And I'm definitely open to questions.
Okay, perfect. I think it's a very wonderful and insightful presentation. Thank you so much for sharing this knowledge with our participants. We have questions, of course, and the people are excited to ask their questions. So I can
Sure.
see that there are 3 hands raised. So I will allow them one
Sure.
by one to ask their question directly.
Sure.
So there is Mustafa,
problem.
who can actually ask questions in audio directly. Mustafa, can you unmute, please? Yeah. Go ahead.
Hi, Mustafa.
Hi. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, Mustafa, go ahead.
Hi, Mustafa. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know, this, as you earlier mentioned it regarding audit, that in the blockchain, the audit. So if the company, like, once the company provided the information on the blockchain to the auditors.
Yes.
So as Mr. Syed Asif Zaman earlier mentioned that, we cannot edit or something. So how, like, this can be done, like if they provided something wrong information or something, and it's already part of the digital, that directory. So, and what is the auditor role, that how accurate this information is?
Okay.
Before exam,
Now,
because as you mentioned, let me complete that. As mentioned that the both parties have to agree.
Sure. Go ahead.
Before they, it becomes a blockchain or it is posted or something like that. So in auditors and company management, how?
Yes.
Yeah. Just my question.
Okay, Miss Mira,
Okay.
can I have a permission to answer the question?
Okay, thank you so much, Mustafa, for your question. Yes.
Thank you.
Miss Mira, can I have the permission to answer the question?
Please go ahead, Mr. Said.
Yes. Okay. See over there, the auditor role will become checking the smart contract, not the entries, because the entry already is agreed by the relevant parties. It could be 2-party, 3-party, or a public party, whatever is there. It could be, any authority, whoever is there. So already it is defined the permissibility, and it is in the rules. When we are developing the blockchain for specific, smart contract for a specific transaction or a specific project. So the auditor's role changes over here, that he or she has to verify whether the smart contract through which these blocks have been created and this entries have been executed is flawless, and there is no problem on that one.
Okay, perfect. Miss Mira, would you like to add something, please?
Yes, sure, no problem. I completely agree with Mr. Said.
Sorry, Mira. I think there is a connection problem. She would be coming back in few seconds. Let me just ask her. No problem.
Hi, Said. Are you? Can you hear me now? Hi, Said. Is
Yes.
it okay now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
So yeah, Mira, can
I'm
you
so
please
sorry.
repeat your answer?
Sure, no problem. Thank you, Mustafa, for the question. And I would completely agree with Mr. Said over there that the role of the auditor is exactly like how it is right now. Okay, they are going to be viewing the transactions, and passing a transaction from one block to another would have already inserted a level of verification, okay, between one a block to the other. So what I strongly believe is the information, okay, that has already been posted on the block would have been questionable at the point it has already been transferred from one block to another, and not after we have encrypted and gone through a whole life cycle of transactions. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
wonderful.
my extension. Yeah.
We have another question, but before that,
Sure.
I would like to allow one of the participant to speak. I see one hand raised. So this is
Sure.
Sayyida Madiha Rubab.
Go ahead.
So you can unmute yourself and then ask the question. Madiha, are you there? Would you like to ask question because you raised hand? I think that I will move to another participant first. This is Adil Ahmad Sharif. So yeah, Adil, please go ahead. Hello, Adil.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
My question is that, as explained by Sayyid Asif Zaman and also by me, Miss Mira, there are two ledger of parties, and then it becomes a public ledger, or in other words, distributed ledger. So, if as we move forward and use this technology, I guess there will be confidentiality issues coming, and people may get the feeling that everything is being observed by public early or before a transaction gets matured. So don't we think that we will be facing any the confidentiality issues in it?
Okay, perfect. Mira,
thank you for that
would you please
question,
go first?
Adil. Mr. Said, would you like to?
Go
Sure,
ahead.
sure. I can go ahead first. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Said, it's okay. You can comment first. No problem. If
No, go ahead,
you
please. I will
intended
add
to
on
say
to that
something.
one to yours, please.
Oh, okay. Sure. Sure. Thank you so much. Okay. I believe, thank you for that question. Now, the concern that of, information which is available is actually within the control of the company. Because if you do have, as we mentioned, a private and a public facility or a hybrid area, okay, of a ledger, so the control will be lying within the organization on what is available publicly and what is available only to certain participants of the network. So the control can be set. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Said.
Okay, then when we are developing, the blockchain for a specific purpose, what we are doing is that one we are setting rules. In the rules, we will
Yes.
set that what is permissible and what is not permissible. Like, if you have been trading in cryptocurrency, you see that uh, crypto coin and other things have been transferred to me, but the name of the individual will not come, and I will never know that how much he is owning. I will only know that
Yes.
with an there's an encrypted one, that there is a list, that one, that these people are holding this. Uh, uh, there is a specific code number and things are there, so you never know. Like in DLD, Dubai Land Department. In Dubai Land Department, I can view my ownership. I cannot view others' ownership. I can view that when I purchase and everything like that. And then this permissibility depend on how much you want to allow, or the authorities want to allow. This is between the network, that network which becomes. And we know that confidentiality is very much important to on these things in accounting transactions. Like I'm saying, that I give you an example. The accounting transactions between uh, company and A and B, only what is payable to them and what the other part is receivable to them will appear. Not rest of the information of the other company will appearing on that one. So it depends on how you are building. That's why I'm saying that blockchain software is a complex one. In the complex ones, in the sense that complexity is that one, that how much information has to be shared, what information has to be encrypted, and which has to be apparently available on that one. And I think Farooq is a researcher on that one. Yeah, Dr. Farooq can add on something on that.
I think that I just agree what both of you have already said, and I think that it would be sufficient. I actually have like 5 questions. I want to just wrap up, so that's why I will move to the question. So
Sure.
I think there is one question very interesting, that it looks like that wrong or fraudulent entries can still be posted through collusion, or if transaction is between related parties, companies. Is it correct? So like, even what the question is, that fraudulent or like incorrect entries can still be done in triple entry accounting system. Is it correct?
It is partially correct and partially false, in the sense that if the entry is pertaining to authorities, like I bought a land, okay, the land department on its side have to verify my ownership, have to verify its price, so it cannot be done. It is impossible. Okay, if
Okay.
it is possible, if in a network 3 people, they are just doing a hawala transaction or transaction, one is sending money, other is receiving, sending money, receiving money, so it's between them. It could be in a closed private network, it can be done. But then what are the specific definition of the fraud? It's subjective.
Okay, Mira, would you like to add on, please?
Yeah. Yes. Definitely. I would say that the blockchain will definitely, being on a network will be more of a deterrent. Okay, there will definitely be some deterrence of an interest, because the source information is always questionable.
Mira, your voice is not
The
coming.
source information that you post
Can you
is
please
question
repeat?
a query. Sure. Is it okay now?
Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you. Can you please repeat your answer?
Sure. I believe that at any point, throughout the block, this information that has been erroneously, fraudulently intended will definitely be questionable. Okay, because like what Mr. Said said, the source information, like the land purchase, okay, the information, the source information is definitely something which should be verified and authenticated before it passes through the block. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Mira, for you, there is another very interesting question that
Wonderful.
currently auditors are frequently involved in suggesting correct accounting treatment based on updated accounting standards. So how will this issue be addressed when accounting entries will be recorded through blockchain technology? So do you think that updated accounting standards will have some impact on this?
Definitely. And, there are currently there are a lot of opinions on frameworks, policies, procedures, governance. There's going to be a governance revolution, I would say, that needs to come about. And just like, the similar thing that we have gone through in creating IFRSs and even IPSES for public sector, similarly, we will need a thorough framework, a benchmark, and a mode of measurement when we are using blockchain. Certainly. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Asif, do you want to add something?
No. Perfect.
Okay. Then there is another question. Quickly, I'm just
sure, no problem.
asking. Sorry for the extra time. Is there any impact on making financial statements? Do you think that there will be some hindrance in the process of making financial statements through blockchain in a triple entry accounting system?
I would think that I would really think that this will be an enhancer rather than a hindrance. Yes, hiccups. There will be hiccups, initial hiccups, but once we get on board, this is going to eliminate a lot of the existing hindrances that we have. Okay, with churning out a set of reliable financial statements.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything
perfect.
that Mr. Said would like to add?
No, it's fine.
Okay, I have one question for Mr. Asif. Currently, which company follows this entry system? Do you have any input on this?
The company, it is basically a blockchain. Have been developed in around 17 or 18 platforms. Like Ethereum's, the blockchain is there, Hyperledger is there, and other companies are there. Currently, there is no standard software are there. The companies, they are ordering customized softwares, like their software being used in cryptocurrencies, and different companies are there, and they're using like Nike, Adidas. They all are on blockchain. Especially the company, the companies where Boeing, they are making airplane parts and these other things. And then ICI, and for their especially for the drugs, they are on blockchain. ID systems are on blockchain. There are vast majority of companies and industries which have already opted for blockchain. Government organizations are in blockchain, like DLD today here in Dubai Land Department, DIVA, Dubai Electricity Department, Etisalat, they are going to be on blockchain. So the blockchain, there is no standard software like Tally or you can say that QuickBooks. They are all, for the time being, they are customized.
Okay, perfect. There is another question which is a little technical, that how will the information be transferred to the balance sheet in a blockchain platform? And will there be an interface software used for clubbing figures? So I mean, can you give us an overview that how it will be implemented?
See this, yeah, I will tell you. This is very sorry to interrupt. This balance sheet and profit and loss account, they come from the trial balance basically. When we are talking about blockchain system on an entry level, on a general entry level, and then this balance sheet and profit and loss account is only the clubbing of the entries, and it's just nothing is that you are doing only taking some entries to profit and loss and combining them and getting the results, notes to the account. This is internal, affair for a company. Mira can add on that one. What I'm saying.
Yes, I totally agree because when we talk about a blockchain, we are talking about channeling and information. Okay, we are continuing. There is a very strong continuity process. Yes, many new types of softwares are being developed to assist in this process, including for companies. There are some companies in Malaysia. You can look up on this company called GA Alliance. Okay, they have actually developed something very strongly on this, and I would say there are several companies out there which are working towards developing an intermediary link between data and also keying in data and looking at a more a stronger environment in their business, strategic business. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And then we have a question that I mean, related to this question is like somebody has asked like interface of blockchain. So like, do we need another software which will be used by accountants to interact with blockchain?
Yeah, Mr. Said?
Yeah, please go ahead, Ms. Mira.
Okay. Yes, there are, as I mentioned, there are interface softwares which are being developed. Okay, right now, as I meant, the example that I mentioned earlier, GA Alliance is one of the companies that I know who is providing not only a consultancy service, but they are also bringing in a software, okay, which can be used, okay, with existing accounting software, for instance, AXP Solutions, SAP. Okay, and these that I just mentioned as well, AXP Solutions and SAP have their own development in this area as well.
This
Okay.
all this
Mr. Asif?
yes, this IBM have made their own software and working on different software, like VTrade is built by IBM for a specifically trading platform which has been used by Standard Chartered banks, and different companies are working on different platforms specifically for blockchain. Like we have initiated and we are working in two ourselves. We are developing in two areas. One, we are making an accounting softwares on blockchain specifically for smart contract for VAT. Then we are working for donations, tracking the donations and accounting for donations, that to track down whether for example the accounting app, that even you have given a donation, this donation when it came from your pocket to any organization, where this money is there. So it's tracking the money and showing even on your app, which is on blockchain. And there are blockchain for specific like food traceability is there, then other things are there. So it's a specific industry specific softwares are there for that reason.
Okay, perfect. I think there is one more question, which is that what would be the denominator of value entered in the public ledger? For example, like how will you measure the value on a blockchain system for entries, like legal tender or cryptocurrency, and how you will convert it into the fiat money?
Mr. Sai?
Please go ahead, Ms. Mira.
Okay, okay. Now there should be for me, based on my understanding, we are just looking at normal currency value. It does not necessarily have to be in a crypto manner, because Bitcoin, yes, because that was actually the initial use of blockchain. But when we're talking about a transaction, we are using, you can use a standard currency, okay, or you can use a converter, okay, to move your transaction. Yeah, over to you, Mr. Said.
Can Dr. Farooq, can you specify the question little bit?
Okay, I think that
I missed on that
the
one,
question was very simple in the sense that, but it depends on the it actually based on a misconception that in blockchain we can only use cryptocurrencies. So if we can use only cryptocurrencies, so when we are posting entries or a ledger or like a balance sheet or different items of the financial reporting system, so how we will use the denominator? So is
Denominator,
it
yes.
like cryptocurrency or
No, no,
USD?
no. It could be anything. It can be anything. This is not that a cryptocurrency. Basically, a blockchain we use in cryptocurrency. It can be used in anywhere with any denominator. It could be in kind or also in cash, also in any currency.
Okay, perfect. I think there is one last question, if you allow me, but although like it's not directly related to the topic, but if you agree, I can pose this question.
Sure,
So
sure.
Go ahead.
the question is, blockchain will eliminate the use of paper currency as we know in the future. So how the central banks around the world are viewing it? I mean, the blockchain companies will replace all the banks. How the statutory compliances will be ensured? I mean, it's just, I
Yes,
think,
Mira, please go ahead.
can be a very normal general overview.
This is a good question. It's a very good
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
This is a very good
It's
question.
it's a exactly. I would agree. This is a really good question. I would say that, rather than looking at it as a replacement, I always think that this is an evolutionary process, that the existing frameworks and the existing financial institutions can actually adopt. On the question, on the opinion on whether currencies and virtual currencies would be a complete replacement, I would not think that is something which is a complete replacement, no, in the near future. But in time to come, we will see an increased use. Okay, definitely an increase in use. I just took my dad for a checkup yesterday, and everything has changed in the last 6 months, because a situation like COVID right now has driven a contactless situation where we are only allowed to pay with your apps, your pay apps, and or also by a credit card. Okay, and I think eventually even a credit card might be something that we will do away with. Yeah, that's my opinion. Go ahead, Mr. Syed.
I will add something like that, that cryptocurrency is nothing. That's another new thing. Like now today you are making a payment from the credit cards, you are making payments from other sources, which is online and everything like that. So, and central banks, especially in China, in US, they are already in just a process to finalize to issue their own cryptocurrencies. And if you remember, when the pandemic started, this package for $1.2 trillion, when it was announced for the pandemic in US, and it was supposed to be this all 1.2 trillion has to be issued in a new digital currency to be issued by the Reserve Bank of US. But somehow it didn't happen because there was some complexity on that one. And I think the central bank, they before, I think they were resistance that one. It is that in so many countries they ban this cryptocurrencies and everything. Now they are slowly and gradually accepting that one. Now, and this pandemic has accelerated the acceptance process of all this one, that now it's a part and parcel, that it's that cryptocurrencies has to be adopted throughout the world.
I think that we have come to the conclusion of our webinar. I would just like to ask our speakers if they have any thoughts. Just 1 minute, if you would like to have a very precise and summarized form on the topic, relevant to the topic as well, and beneficial for our participants.
Yes, Ms. Mira,
Please
please
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Farooq. Thank you, Mr. Asif. As a concluding remark, thank you for those very constructive questions. I believe that, blockchain has huge potential. We have probably only looked at the first 5 to 10% of it. and there's like 90% journey that we'll be riding on together. If anyone is interested to talk to me or work with me on any blockchain papers, or any projects, I'll be more than happy to you can approach me. My contact is with Dr. Farouk, so you can get it from him. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and so generous of you. Mr. Asif, please go ahead.
Yes, see, just I want to add one thing is that one, I will request the participant, and which I request everybody like that. Now, you have to update and upgrade yourself with this latest technologies, blockchain, fintechs, and everything like that. Today, you know that if you don't know English, you cannot communicate with each other. The norms and the common, interaction is English language. Same like that, technology is the next frontier, and if you don't know the technology, you cannot interact with each other. Technology will be the main point, and then you will have a domain knowledge like technology with doctors, technology with engineers, technology with chartered accountant, technology with any specific field. So technology is now the new frontiers and the new basics and norm. So it is requested to all the participants and other people that they must encourage the others also and themselves also to learn this kind of new technology. I'm not saying that go in depth on that one, even they know how it works and how, because eventually a ecosystem end of the day will be created. To fit in this ecosystem, you must know how these technologies are working. That's
Thank you so much, Jazakallahu Khaira, and I really appreciate your contributions and also from the participants. Again, I apologize for extending the time, but I think that we were having a very exciting and fruitful discussion, lively one. So then I didn't want to just cut it off in the middle. So with that, I again thanks everybody, and inshallah we will be having more seminars coming in the future. So stay tuned with us. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and bye.